What happened while we were away, brought to you by Getting Leaky. This weekend, we saw at least the third leak to media foil a massive immigration and customs enforcement operation. This weekend, it was in Los Angeles, as the LA Times somehow got their hands on government documents spelling out ICE plans for a large raid in that city. A few weeks ago, it was Chicago, where a large ICE operation was leaked to the media. And a couple weeks ago, a forthcoming ICE op in Aurora, Colorado was leaked to national media as well, foiling those plans. Department of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is laying the blame for the leaks at the feet of the FBI. Attorney General Pam Bondi says she's committed to accountability.
And that jeopardizes the lives of our great men and women in law enforcement. And if you leaked it, we will find out who you are and we will come after you. And it's not going to stop our mission. It's not going to stop the president's mission to make America safe again.
A new CBS News YouGov poll from over the weekend shows overwhelmingly positive public sentiment towards the new Trump administration, and still a majority of Americans approve of his deportation plans. Overall, Trump has a 53-47 approval rating. Over the weekend as well, Trump on Truth Social expressed interest in abandoning the penny as it costs more to mint than what it's worth. Trump also said he's committed to banning paper straws. Trump has also stripped security clearance of various people, including former President Joe Biden and Secretary of State Antony Blinken. Nevertheless, the Trump administration is facing judicial pushback on some of their executive actions, like ending birthright citizenship and offering a buyout for federal employees. Vice President J.D. Vance said over the weekend, quote, "If a judge tried to tell a general how to conduct a military operation, that would be illegal. And if a judge tried to command the attorney general on how to use her discretion as a prosecutor, that's also illegal. Judges aren't allowed to control the executive's legitimate power." Learning Chinese today, today's phrase is the Trump administration gearing up to do what I think they are?
特朗普政府是否正准备做我认为的事情?
Moving on, the Philadelphia Eagles are your Super Bowl 59 champions, riding a really dominant whole-team effort to thrash the two-time defending champions Kansas City Chiefs 40-22. After the game, Super Bowl MVP Jalen Hurts thanked God.
God is good. He's greater than all the highs and the lows, and I think personally myself, I've just been able to use every experience.
The most woke TV commercial during the Super Bowl was another one of those stupid He Gets Us ads, purportedly made by people who claim the name of Christ. It featured Johnny Cash's song Personal Jesus as the soundtrack and a number of images of people just being really nice to other people, ending with the words, "Jesus showed us what greatness really is," an obvious dig at Donald Trump's slogan, "Make America Great Again." The latest He Gets Us abomination prompted British pastor Jamie Bambrick to introduce for the second consecutive year the ad He Gets Us should have run. This ad also featured the same soundtrack, but instead of nice people being nice to each other, it showed various examples of overt anti-Christian persecution all over the world and ended with the message, "Greatness is not following the world, it is defying the world." Once again, a home run from Pastor Jamie Bambrick. On kind of that same topic, an interesting dichotomy played out over the weekend. A DOGE staffer last week was doxxed by a journalist who exposed this staffer's, let's say, spicy takes on Indian people. That staffer was fired or resigned from his job later in the week, but not wanting to maintain the precedent that an ugly journalist anywhere in the world can just get anybody fired from the jobs over unsavory postings, that staffer was given his job back by Elon Musk. Vice President J.D. Vance expressed agreement with the decision to reinstate the DOGE staffer, to which Congressman Ro Khanna of California replied by saying he hopes the staffer will be forced to apologize for his unsavory social media posts. Vance absolutely torched Congressman Khanna, saying, quote, "Grow up, racist trolls on the internet, while offensive. Don't threaten my kids. You know what does? A culture that denies grace to people who make mistakes. A culture that encourages congressmen to act like whiny children." Vance went on to say, quote, "I cannot overstate how much I loathe this emotional blackmail pretending to be concerned. My kids, God willing, will be risk takers. They won't think constantly about whether a flippant comment or a wrong viewpoint will follow them around for the rest of their lives." Vance went on to say, "You know what I do worry about, Roe? That they'll grow up to be a U.S. congressman who engages in emotional blackmail over a kid's social media posts. You disgust me." So there's that on one side, and on the other side, we have Wheaton College, the alma mater of OMB director Russ Vought. After Vought's confirmation last week, Wheaton posted a message of support and prayer for Vought, as they should and would do for any alumni who ascends to such a high office as Vought. After a little bit of hand-wringing and tired old slings and arrows from a very few wokesters, Wheaton then apologized for posting the message of support for Russ Vought, saying the college didn't mean to embroil itself in a political debate. So on one hand, you have the sitting vice president taking a nuclear bomb to the very scaffolding of modern progressivism, emotional blackmail over political correctness. And on the other hand, you have a longtime Christian institution succumbing to that very same emotional blackmail and folding like a cheap suit. I know which side I'd share a foxhole with. And finally, let's not forget the very real human toll the actions of the Department of Government Efficiency are exacting on a number of families all over the United States.
It's been, what? It's been like 2 weeks? 2 weeks. I'm done. You want to talk about regretting your vote? In 2 weeks, I went from the highest high to being unemployed. Lost my job last night, got a phone call. The repercussions of what Elon Musk are doing with the USAID has real repercussions for real people. For the last 7 years, I have been a shift lead on Project Bus, where we studied to find out if the wheels on the bus went round around or not. And all of a sudden, Elon, who's not even elected, gets in, and I'm out of a job. What do I tell my family? What do I tell my kids? This isn't a joke. This USAID stuff is not a joke, man. It's affecting real people. And the worst part is, what if we never figure out? What if we never figure out if in fact the wheels on the bus do go round and round?
And that's what happened while we were away.